just talking to my wife, and I was like, you know what? I literally just made double, triple what I would make in 1 month. I made that in a week, right? And there was even one point in time where I made however much I would make in a month in 1 day. And I'm like, I'm just looking at the numbers and I'm like, there's no way. Like, how did this happen? And dude, like, it's just so crazy, man. It really is. Like it. And she was like, yeah, like, I mean, I remember you telling me that, you were talking to God, and God said, and you were telling him, I know you don't have that plan for me. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna keep rolling with it then, since
I
it's
love
moving
it,
that
dude.
way.
That is so
Yeah.
freaking cool. I love that.
So in today's interview, you're going to learn the story of our Consulting Blueprint community member, Shakir Smith. Shakir Smith, I've never clarified how to say his name because he's always told me to just call him Shaq, so I'll just introduce him as such. But anyway, he is consistently seeing $2,000 to $5,000 weeks selling Instagram marketing coaching. And he got started with us from complete raw zero, as you're going to learn in this interview today. And he's somebody with a lot on his plate, with a wife and kids and everything, and he's able to manage to get this business to a multiple five-figure monthly rate in some months, in some cases. And you're going to learn how he came into our community, how he found us, what got him to decide to invest to get started and grow this business with us. You're going to learn how we helped him build his offer, how he learned how to sell. You're going to learn his entire story and what it's like to be running the business that he's running today. And look, before we get into this interview today, I want to urge you, if you are a wannabe coach, you want to start your own business online, but you don't know where to start, you'd like to, sell coaching services on the internet and work one-to-one with clients or in a group setting or whatever, and let us help you get to that $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 a month in sales mark, keeping 70 to 80% of that revenue, then I want you to schedule a direct consult with us using the link in the description, and we'll ask you a bunch of questions, see if it's a good fit, and if it's a good fit, we'll get started. But of course, this is our business model. This is what we do. This is my full-time, and not only is it my full-time, but it's a big operation we have. So because of that, we ask that if you do schedule a call, that you show up to the time that you selected and everything. That way we can actually serve you and see if it's a good fit. It'll be over Zoom, and it'll be just like a 45-minute consult, and it's likely, even if you don't get started inside of the Consulting Blueprint program, going to be one of the best 45 minutes you've spent on your business to date, because we have over 400 students in our community with over 30 million in total earnings. That's an average of $71,000 per student in our community, which is insane. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this interview. If at any point in the interview, or even right now, you'd like to speak with us, use that link in the description and we'll speak to you directly at the time that you selected. Okay? Anyway, enjoy the interview. Shaq's a really incredible individual. He's been a highly valued member of the community since day one, and you're going to learn a lot about what it looks like to be a student of ours and how to grow an Instagram marketing coaching business. Enjoy the interview. All right. Shaq, welcome to the channel, dude. Long time coming for sure.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on this call, man.
Dude, absolutely. I was telling you this before we kicked off the recording, and hopefully you can admit I'm no different off recording, on recording. I meant it when I said it. If I had more Shaqs, this business would be so much more profitable and scalable and fun to run, because you were just such when you joined the community, you were all in. And you had that sense of I've got no other option. I'm going all in with this, and it's paying off to the tune of, you had your first, what was it, a $5,000 week, $4,500 week? What was it?
Yeah, it was 4.5. Yeah. Well, actually,
Awesome,
no,
man.
it was 5. It was 5.
That's awesome, dude. That is
Yeah.
so cool. In contrast to, where were you when you first joined? Because I don't even know if I can look that far back.
Yeah, man. I think when I first joined, I think I was somewhere around barely floating, I don't know, 3K, 2K maybe, not even anything crazy, but ever since joining, dude, I've been hitting 7K, 8K a month, and
That's awesome.
it's just crazy, man.
That's super cool. I love it, dude. Well, man, I'm excited to share with people how you've done that, and exactly what the process has looked like. So my first question for you is just what's your experience been in the community? What have you learned that has helped you grow your business, and kind of tell people more about your story of why you joined, what you've gotten from it, and exactly how it's helped you grow your business, and kind of your I guess the past few months of business growth. What have they looked like for you?
Yeah, for sure. So, ever since I joined the community, man, right off the gate, I could just see a bunch of successful mindsets collaborating together. Wasn't even on a call yet.
Mm,
And then Brandon is actually
mm,
the one, that, onboarded me ultimately. And I
mhm,
worked with him in the past. So I
mhm,
trusted his word.
mhm,
But yeah, man, he told me there were Zoom calls every single day and everything like that. I was like, okay, cool. So, hopped on the first Zoom call, one turned into two, then it turned to five, and just kept
mm,
getting tons and tons of value from you and all the other coaches too, as well, Jeremy, even Matt. Like, you know what I
mhm,
mean? It was just crazy.
mhm,
But yeah, man, as far as like the community, I love it, dude. I love the
mm,
community. I've never been in a community that's
mm,
been so powerful
mm.
and motivating, right? Like just seeing all the people succeed, I'm like, okay, I need to pick my game up. You know what I mean?
It's very good. So it sounds like one of the main things for you is just the community, that sense of like a raising of your personal standards by being in the right room, correct?
Yeah, 100%, man. And like just going back to like, where I was, like just to give it a little bit like a background story.
Mm,
So when I started working, before I even started doing any of this, I was a grill cook for Cracker Barrel. And I like hopped from job to job, man. Like I went from that to landscaping.
mm,
And I just knew I'm a Christian. So I
mm,
just was talking to God and I was like, God, I know that you don't have this plan for me for the rest of my life, like literally every single
mm,
day. And then all of a sudden got a couple of clients and I was okay, like I wasn't making what I wanted to. I got three kids, well, one on the way. I got two right now,
mm,
married, so
mm,
like I absolutely had my back on the wall in some type of way. Like I have to be
mm,
able to provide, my wife, she's disabled. So
mm,
like, like she wouldn't even be able to work really that much. So
mm,
yeah, man, I had to step it up. But dude, like ever since, like I said, just joining this group and just seeing all the people succeeding, like that's what really like got me moving toward
mm.
like, smoking weed. I was doing stupid stuff before. And when I joined the group, the first modules that I went through the course, you talk about mindset. And I was like, all right, I gotta kick this crap out. And as soon as I did, that's whenever business went up.
That's so good, dude. It's so good to hear that. Like a lot of the time people don't realize like the growth in your business is actually growth that happens outside of the business and then it shows itself in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 100%, dude. It's growth that you do on yourself. It's work that you do on your standards, your behaviors and everything. And then that shows up in your work. So I don't know, to maybe speak to that a little bit. I think a lot of people, when they join a community like this, they look for the specifics and the strategies. And don't get me wrong, I would love to hear what specifics and what specific strategies and things that you've learned from us have really helped you. But before we get to that, maybe speak to like how that community energy has served you, because that's, I think, maybe one of the main selling points of CB is it's just like, look, like, I don't know what it is, but we just have a community of winners. And it's so hard to enter into this community and not double your business, so maybe you could speak to that a little bit, and then after that we can get into some of the specifics that you've learned.
Yeah, no, for sure. So like, yeah, like kind of what you said, like the marketing, the technical stuff, like it's there, you know what I mean? But ultimately, like if your mind isn't there, then
Hmm.
you're not gonna do it whatsoever. You're not gonna succeed. And that's just the truth. Like I'm not trying to be like rude or anything like that, but it's the truth. Like
Yeah.
if you're not there here, then it's not gonna really serve you. Like you can buy any course, but if you don't implement, if you don't put your mind to it, it's not going to work out. But yeah, the energy from the community is just so different, man. Like I literally got supposed to hop on a call with somebody from the community like 30 minutes ago. But
Mm,
we had to reschedule. But like I've had people reach out to me after posting my wins, and like
mm,
I've never had that experience before, and that just made me want to win even more. When
mm.
I had people reaching out, asking me questions, hey, can we hop on a call? Like, yeah, like I would love to. So
It's so
you know,
awesome,
it,
dude.
I know, and like it's just as far as the energy, man. It's very positive, but it's
Mm,
also like you said, like just standards. Like
mm,
there's just people in there that are seriously high level, and
mhm.
like when you put yourself in those kind of rooms, you kind of just go the way if you're all in, you know.
Right. Absolutely. Well, so what would you say to somebody who is like kind of on the fence about joining a community like that, specifically CB? Obviously, I'm biased because it's my company and everything. But what would you say to somebody who's like kind of skeptical, like what is CB? Who's this Trey guy? What's this community like? Like, did you mirror that sentiment? I know you trusted Brandon, but what would you speak to somebody who's in that situation? just for my sake, because we have a lot of people who are in that position.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I did trust Brandon, but ultimately, like, as soon as I, got in contact with the course and got
Mhm,
on the first call with you on it, like, you
mhm,
instantly build trust with me 100%.
mhm,
And then of course, like, I'm a Christian, you're a Christian, so that also played a part in it too. We both believe in the same thing.
mhm,
But for people that, that are skeptical, ultimately, like, I wouldn't even be skeptical,
mhm,
just be ready to get some value like out of the window, like through the roof, and mainly not even just like the technical things,
mhm.
like everything. It's the whole package, and I don't know, if you don't join CB, I don't know what you're gonna join, but I can almost guarantee you it's nothing like what Trey has going on whatsoever.
I appreciate that, dude. So let's talk about the specifics then, because you know, it's so funny, man. So consistently in these interviews, my students will say, "Oh, dude, you changed my mindset. You changed my standards. You changed my behavior. You changed the things that really matter." And I teach those things because it's what worked for me. You know what I mean? But then very naturally, there's the viewer who's listening to this, like, okay, so far, all I know from this interview is CV is great and I need to fix my mindset. You know what I mean? It's like, cool, but what if I'm not willing to spend any money? What if, like, I just am a casual viewer of Trey's channel? Maybe we could get into specifics on the strategy level, even though you and I understand generally that mindset is the foundation of all of it. Do you mind kind of thinking back to like what specific things did you hear from us or the coaches that led to specific changes in your business, on a strategy and on a mindset level, but just hearing specifically what created that transformation for you, I think would be really helpful for somebody.
Yeah, so a big part for me was like getting on calls, like that was a big hurdle for me. I was getting on calls, but not enough.
Mhm,
I think even at one point you said that you should at least have one call every day. And
mhm.
when you said that, I was like, okay, I got a lot of work to do then. So, just hopping on the calls with you guys and hearing a lot about like how to be strategic with booking calls on Instagram, even Facebook, dude, I've gotten on calls with people that I felt like I didn't even have to try. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But yeah, dude, like I think that was the biggest takeaway. And also too, like your mindset on running ads.
Mhm,
Like I never thought about, okay, well, if you just break even, then you literally just, spent it was free marketing,
mhm.
right? So it's like you just got attention. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay, so that's how that works, and
Mhm.
like I think those were the two biggest things for me because I felt like I was okay with sales. Your sales script, by the way, it helped me so much. Like I
Nice.
needed something like that 100%. That's the only reason why I'm at where I'm at right now, I think.
Oh, so good, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was really good. But yeah, like sales, booking calls, and really just understanding marketing in
Mm.
general. Like, I don't want to like I guess go too in depth because I feel like I don't want to give away the whole farm. I feel like people need
Nah,
to really
dude, give away the farm,
get
bro. Like I'm not I'm not reserved. Go as in depth as you're willing to with like the 20 something minutes we have. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, ultimately, like what I will say though is I've gotten all of my business from Instagram specifically, but I
Mhm.
still just took the principles that you did for the Facebook flywheel and just implemented that into the IG,
Yep.
because like that's
100%.
what I specialize in. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So,
Totally.
but yeah, dude, like I think strategically, man, like just booking calls, like it's just like it's not hard, it's just like I made it hard for myself. I
Mm,
made it harder than what it needed to be,
mm.
right? And then you guys just made it super clear, like, no, dude, like just say this. Like, you know what I
Yep.
mean? It's like, oh,
Yep.
that's it. Like, yeah. And then I do it and it works. I get bookings. It's like, okay,
Awesome.
cool. So yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so crazy, man. But
Mm,
yeah, but as far as like mindset, like I think that is what really moved the needle for me.
mm.
I just can't stress it enough, man. Sorry if you hear some screaming. I got my son in
There
there.
you go.
But yeah, dude. The mindset, man. I think the big mindset shift was reading Psycho-Cybernetics.
Mm,
I've heard of the book in the past, and I was like, I'll check it out sometime. But then whenever you mentioned it, I was like, okay, there's
mhm,
got to be something going on. Like
mhm,
Trey's successful, everybody in CB is successful. I'm pretty sure everybody's read this book, so I might as well should go ahead and read
Yep.
it.
That's why
And
we have
dude,
the required reading rule, bro. We do not let you skip the reading material. You have to read it.
yes,
So,
dude, yes, and it's worth it. Like, I'm not a reader, I'm not, but the books that you recommend, like, uh, yes, please read those books, guys. If you decide to go in, which you should, read those books, invest, get into the coaching. Like, it's all worth it. It changed me. I'm not perfect. That's what I will say. I'm still changing. I'm still working on stuff, but that's the whole point. Like, the fact that I'm even moving forward, right? That's my big thing.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. So, dude, let me ask you this. What does the future look like for you, would you say? So right now you've gone from a very entry level amount of revenue, not taking sales calls, didn't know how to sell, didn't really know how to get those calls, anything like that, to now you've got a pretty consistent system. Like, what are you looking to do in the future? Like, what's your revenue goal, say, for 2023? What would you like to wrap up at? Like, shoot for the moon with me. What do you think?
Dude, honestly, I've been thinking 20K, because I think that that's very doable.
Yeah, I think it is.
I've seen too many people do it.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, you're the ultimate example. I'm like, all right, like, eventually I'll get there, but right now I'm gonna just stick with 20K. But yeah, man, I think that's the goal for me. And outside of that, the whole point of me wanting to hit that is I do want to build a team because, right now I'm doing everything by myself, right?
Yep.
So just build a team of like maybe 2, 3 people.
Yep.
And that way I can deliver the services a lot better, higher quality,
Yep.
and scale maybe even more, maybe 30K, 40K, 50K,
Mm.
But yeah, dude, I want to become the go-to in my industry. I really do. I've been
Good.
seeing all these guys, like, no offense to them. I've been seeing them pop up on my ads, and I'm like, dude, no, like,
Yeah.
I'm the dude. I need to be the guy. Yeah. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
goal. I want to be the go-to in the industry.
That's awesome, dude. I love that. Oh, very cool, man. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Like you had like some proof of concept, not a ton, and then you joined and we took it and we like 6x'd it for you. What would you say if you were to boil it down to like one key thing that helped you do that? Was it just the mindset? Was it just the community? Was it just the appointment setting and sales stuff? Like, if for your investment, the price that you paid, if you were to have just gotten one thing out of CB, what would that have been? And then maybe describe how that one thing specifically created the change that you've seen.
Yeah, for sure. It's for sure the group calls. I mean,
Mm.
like, here's the thing. I don't know what it is. It's like when other people are asking questions, you're already thinking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you answer it. It's like, oh, okay. And then even some people ask some questions that you wouldn't even think about asking, and then
Mm-hmm.
you answer it. And it's like you're getting value from both ends. And then you literally just take that value and implement it right after the call. And I think
Mm.
that's what's been the most beneficial. And like, you guys even taking the time to do that, because I know you guys have lives too. Like, I know I'm married, I have kids, but everybody has a life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, like, you guys taking that time and really just like investing into us and making sure that we're getting the information that we need and not some BS, because there's so much BS out there, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, there is, but it isn't BS. Every single time I'm on a call, it's straightforward, and it's like, dude, this is it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you either take it and you implement, or you just kind of just sit there and kind of wait for the unicorns and fairies to come and do the work for you. But yeah, dude, like, dude, I think it's the calls, like,
Mm-hmm.
100%. And of course, like, I just want to throw in there too, like, the community. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the community is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, them asking the questions that they ask. Like I said, like, there's been tons of questions that have been asked that I'm like, why didn't I think about that? Like, that's actually pretty true, right? So like, that just goes back to there being like a powerful mindset overall, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's tons of people that have a powerful mindset. They have goals that they want to hit and they're serious about it, right? They're not just like, oh yeah, I want to make a couple of grand here and there. And no, like, it's like, we're trying to be the best.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to grow serious businesses. Some of us trying to go 7-figure businesses. So yeah, dude, very, very cool. No, you've been an amazing addition to the community, dude. I appreciate your time today. Let me ask a double-sided question, I guess two questions. First question is, what's your advice to the beginner who's maybe kind of like you, had a little bit of like understanding of what, like you said, like $1,000 a month, just barely anything. What's your advice to that person? And then also, what's your input to somebody who's on the fence about joining our community? So those would be kind of my two last questions.
Yeah. So for the person that's a beginner, look, go all in.
Mm,
Like don't look back either, right? Do everything that Trey and all the other coaches mention in calls, read the
mm,
books,
mm,
invest into yourself. That's like
mm,
my big thing that I say a lot to my clients is invest into your knowledge
mm,
because it pays off in the future and it has for me 100%. Like I'm going to be forever, I'm going to be able to use these skills and no matter what platform it is, no matter if Instagram's gone, I can always move to another one and take the same principles and apply it there. And I think your return on investment in the long run is really what matters ultimately. So just do the work. Like, don't sit around and just wait. Do the work, do what they're telling you to do, and it will happen. It just will. It's so crazy how it happens. It's like you blink your eye and you're like, what did I do again? Like, how did I get here? You know what I mean?
I
So,
feel that way right now, bro.
yes,
Like I'm
dude.
getting married in
Yes.
like 37 days now, and like it's crazy looking back, dude. Like literally 4 years ago, like I had like pretty much zero in the bank, and like now, like I think we just passed like selling $3 million for this stuff, which is crazy. So like, dude, yeah, the process works, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and it's been a pleasure having you on the channel. And thanks for this short but valuable interview, dude. It's been a lot of fun having you here.
Yeah, for sure, man. I really appreciate it, Trey. And yeah, one last thing, guys, don't hesitate. Don't like I can't stress that enough. You got to get into this. It's life changing. It's not even
Appreciate it, dude.
just some yeah, it's not just oh like yeah, it's life changing.
Yeah, you got to get on the ground floor before I'm too busy and I have kids.
Yeah, yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, it does take us some time, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's my scarcity marketing is buy this before I have children when I can't focus on it anymore.
For real. Yeah, for real.
Uh, that's funny, dude. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks a ton.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.